Okay. Hopefully we are all set, all good. There's some time here. No. I don't know what the fuck that was, but okay. Welcome to the Wrestling Bod. I'm your host, Carlito Santiago, and today we're here to talk about what went down on Friday Night SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen, and we have a lot to cover here. So, they don't want to wait for their match. Well, the show opened in chaos as Drew McIntyre was shown assaulting. The fuck? That was weird. Anyway, the show opened in chaos as McIntyre was shown assaulting Jacob Fatu in the parking lot after crashing into his car on purpose. McIntyre eventually made his way into the arena and ranted on the mic until Nick Aldis came out and yelled at him. Fatu made his way to the ring, past security, and went right after Drew. They fought all over the ring as a Samoan werewolf tried to get his revenge. Security tried to drag him away, but Fatu freed himself and put McIntyre through the announce table with a big Samoan splash. This was a great way to open the show. It was much more energetic than the usual talking segments we get, and it made the feud between Fatu and McIntyre feel even more intense. Even without the title, the storyline feels like one of the most important things on SmackDown heading into WrestleMania. Maybe not the most important thing heading into WrestleMania, but something worth giving a damn about. This is how you start off a SmackDown. You know, I'd rather a match, but starting it off with a brawl, no talking, maybe just a little bit of talking, but it didn't matter. McIntyre wanted a match with Fatu at WrestleMania, so we need to confirm if that is true or not. So we're going to do that right now. Let's confirm what is on the card for WrestleMania, shall we? WrestleMania. Oh, WrestleMania dollar signs. No, I don't even have to fucking. Oh. All right, no. So it is not confirmed yet, but Drew McIntyre will most likely have a match with. Most likely Drew McIntyre. You know, like I said, it's up there, but it's not confirmed. Anyway, B+, I think it's well deserved. We move on to our tag team title match. It was the MFTs versus Damian Priest and R-Truth. So, the men's tag team titles were up first. R-Truth and Damian Priest challenging Tama Tonga and JC Mateo. The rest of the MFTs were at ringside with the Wyatt's lanterns still in their possession. The Archer of Infamy took a lot of damage throughout the commercial break, but he began to make some headway once the show was back. The match itself was relatively average, but it was also a perfect illustration of how far the SmackDown tag team division has fallen. It is 100% true. Like, what tag team division? You have R-Truth and Damian Priest teaming up now. Like, where the fuck, you know what I mean? Where the fuck is our tag team division? Anyway, 6 months ago, the brand had several tag teams tear down the house every night. That is true. Now it feels like a shell of its former self, honestly. Like, I keep mentioning this. Where's the tag team division? Where the fuck is the tag team division? When are we going to get some tag team wrestling? I miss tag team wrestling. I miss it. It's not there anymore. Everybody's focused on the one-on-one shit. Give me a tag team storyline. Surprisingly, Truth and Priest ended up getting the victory to become the new tag team champions after, of course, a little help from Uncle Howdy taking out Sikoa at ringside to provide a distraction. And it was R-Truth who performed the attitude adjustment onto JC Mateo to pin him for the 1-2-3 and score the tag team titles. Graded a B- because this feud between the MFTs and the Wyatts needs to fucking end. It does, and he's going in a whole different direction. Maybe taking the titles off of them feels right. Maybe giving Priest, maybe rejuvenating our tag team division. This helps. I hope SmackDown uses their tag team now, R-Truth and Damian Priest as tag team champions, to fucking give us some new challengers. The Street Profits, Motor City Machine Gun, whoever else is in Fraxium, Los Garzas. Show us the tag team division on SmackDown, please. Speaking of our other tag teams, Motor City Machine Gun and Fraxium were up next. And finally, something worth giving a damn about. The tag team division continued to be highlighted in the second match. So now, mind you, this is our first this is our second show without Road Dogg as the writing. So this is good. The tag team division continued to shine in the second match with Nathan Frazier and Axiom taking on Chris Sabian and Alex Shelley. These are two of the teams who made SmackDown so much fun to watch last year, so it was great to see them step back into the ring together for the first time since August. We're in March, guys. This is since August. Unbelievable. Both teams favored a brisk pace and used their speed and agility to put on an exciting performance. Frazier was especially fun to watch with his high-risk offense. Candice LeRae ended up interfering to help the Motor City Machine Guns pick up the victory, but it seemed like Sabian was unaware of her assistance, which got the pin, when he got the pin. Even with a dirty finish, this was one of the most entertaining WWE matches of the week. Also, Danhausen stole $20 from LeRae, making her think that he would remove a curse from Johnny Gargano. It's not a curse, it's more of a depression. And having Danhausen steal money from a depressed person is really fucking low, if you ask me. It's funny, but it's low. So maybe we're gonna get a super group. Like maybe we're getting Johnny Gargano and the Motor City Machine Guns and Candice LeRae as a little group. Maybe to get Gargano out of his funk, get Johnny wrestling up and moving again. But seeing Motor City Machine Gun win for the first time since who knows how long is great. A-. This is something to go out of your way to see. It's fucking amazing. The Viper Speaks. Part 1. Yeah, you guys are probably thinking, like, this is just the Viper going to, like, give us a great explanation about Cody Rhodes and why he did what he did. You know, this is going to be the Viper, man. I have to say part 1 because there's another thing on top of it. I saw the highlights. I caught the clips. So, let's talk about it. Randy Orton arrived at the arena and made his way to the ring to explain his actions from last week when he brutally attacked Cody Rhodes. He sat in the same dented chair he used to attack Rhodes and spoke about how he has tried to return the love that the fans have shown him, but he has been faking it. Over the years, we have gotten several heel and face turns from the Viper, so it's hard to find a new angle on it. He did his best to give a promo that fit within his character, but this didn't tread any new ground. And it sucks. Now, I love the new costume. I love the new design, too, of the shirt. The new design is great. WWE turned the blood stain on his shirt from last week into a new merch design. That is what I call good fucking advertising, man, for the shirts and merchandising. I love that new merchandising. Cody Rhodes' blood on Orton's shirt. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, Orton's promo is weak, so give that a C+. And I agree with the grading for the A-. Moving on, Sami Zayn took on Aleister Black. This was pretty weird, but Sami Zayn wanted some action. So, Sami Zayn took on Aleister Black after the two had an intense interaction backstage. Before they could begin, though, Whoop That Trick arrived to the ring to watch. Black tried to get an early advantage by going after Zayn while he was distracted, but Zayn fought back and unloaded on him in the corner. These two work well as opponents, but they have a lot of similar attributes, while using completely different styles of offense. See, Aleister Black is a striker, while Sami Zayn is more of a techniquist, if I should say. He's very good at technique. He's very good at his techniques, and technician. So it's just too bad that the match felt like a placeholder while Zayn and Williams' feud picks up steam. After Willie Trick threw a drink at him, Zayn attacked him. This led to Black hitting his finisher as soon as Sami Zayn got back into the ring, scored the win. So yeah. Orton was also shown attacking Matt Cardona backstage. The pop from Williams was also great. And yeah, they look like Sami Zayn and Trick Willie are going to be in a... So let's go back to that... Let me pull up the WrestleMania card, because this is our United States Championship shit here. Maybe Matt Cardona's not in it, but with Sami Zayn... Actually, let's take Matt Cardona out, because that might not be the case. Or no. Yeah, actually. Alright. Oh. Yeah, that, and then... replace Gargano. Is it E? Yes. Maybe Aleister Black even gets a match in here. This is perfect too. Like, look at this ladder match. This ladder match looks even fun. All right, so a lot of things are changing, but right now we only have 5 matches to confirm for WrestleMania. But moving forward, graded B-. I agree with this. I hope Sami Zayn and Trick Williams don't have a singles match at WrestleMania. I hope they both get into like a United States Championship match or some shit. But moving on, we'll talk about that later. Jade Cargill came out to the ring and immediately called out Rhea Ripley, who wasted no time coming out to respond. It looked like Michin and B-Fab were going to attack Cargill as she was leaving, but they ended up joining her and beat down Ripley. I'm sorry, guys, but you know how I talk about nonsense. Let's talk about it. This made no fucking sense, and I'm sorry if you guys are wearing headphones. I want to make sure that you guys know that I'm not trying to be that loud, but this is some fucking bullshit, all right? Bullshit on top of bullshit. This is just a feud. Honestly, at this point, don't even write a fucking storyline. Just say Rhea Ripley won the Elimination Chamber match, and now she's facing Cargill. That's it. This made no sense. Michin and B-Fab have been feuding with Cargill, and now they have suddenly joined her side without any fucking reasoning. Nothing about this segment made sense and added anything to the storyline that's going on. So you know what? It doesn't even get a D for what it was worth. If you had just called Rhea Ripley out and then get into a scuffle or even just a little promo here, fuck it. Let it be like, words of words or whatnot. But this is fucking dog shit. This is a fucking F. And this hurts the grading in the end. Okay? This ain't even fucking a D. This is an F. Ilya Dragunov took on Carmelo Hayes. Guys, go out of your way and see this again. Ilya Dragunov went to Aldis and convinced him to book a United States Championship match against Carmelo Hayes after he gave the Mad Dragon a pep talk last week. These two have had a very respectful friendship, but as soon as the match started, they were both throwing hands, and it makes it intense. It makes an intense fight right away. These two have never had a bad match, and most of the time, they steal the show whenever they cross paths. It's gotten to the point where it feels effortless for them to bring the best out of each other. They fought through 2 commercial breaks and made the most of every minute. Hayes was able to secure the win with a pinning combination to cap off a fantastic encounter. Another match to go out of your way. Not only that, but Fatu and McIntyre got into a fight again backstage. So, also, we need to make a big deal out of Dragunov wanting to earn a rematch, but he lost his last bout, and when did he earn it? That is true. And plus, we've seen, Dragunov kind of prop up backstage, a couple times, talking to Aldis, like, I got other bigger plans, I don't want to challenge you for the United States Championship, and then we have to bring him right back to the United States Championship, because what else are we going to fucking do? But again, not a bad encounter, nothing from what, an encounter. I think that Dragunov was a hurt, and they just didn't want to address it. That's low. Oh god, another effortless promo. A slam poetry battle. Jelly Roll and Kit Wilson, guys. Kit Wilson! Kit Wilson! After a break, Kit Wilson was in the ring, ready to call out Jelly Roll for crossing the line last week. As soon as Jelly got to the ring, Wilson rolled out to avoid him. The musician grabbed a mic and asked for a ref so they could fight. But Wilson said he was ready. He was there to fight with words. He read a poem he wrote while Jelly looked on confused. Jelly proceeded to saying Jelly fucking all right. He read a poem he wrote while Jelly Roll looked on confused. Jelly Roll proceeded to respond with a series of mom jokes until Wilson attacked him and left him down in the ring. Now, we would put money on this leading to Wilson and The Miz versus Jelly Roll and Danhausen at WrestleMania. You know what? Wilson's gimmick feels very 2006. I don't know who he would be in 2006, but great idea. Fuck it. Let's add it. I don't care. Because we probably aren't going to get this match, but you can be damned if we're going to get another match. So, I'll put it on there. Jelly Roll and Danhausen, was it? Yeah, Danhausen versus Kit Wilson and The Miz. Sure, fuck it. Let's just do it. I mean, fucking, I think it's for the best. Shit. I'm going to grade it a C because it's not even a C minus. It's just the fact that we have celebrities on top of celebrities, Like, Danhausen going to wrestle is fucking great too. Also, Orton was shown apologizing to Jelly Roll backstage for shoving him last week. He tried to talk some sense into Randy, but I don't think it worked. This one, we can keep the C- for. This one, so this segment here, I'll give it a C. But this next segment, my God, it's going to lead us to it's going to lead us to, now, what it's going to lead us to is this, guys. It's going to lead us to this, because it's just unfucking believable how we doing this. All right? So, just so you're aware, it's most likely to be this. But anyway, for the first time in almost 8 years, Nikki and Brie teamed up to take on Nia Jax and Lash Legend for the women's tag team titles. The Bellas avoided an early attack by the champions to take the upper hand, but Jax eventually fought back. Flair and Bliss showed up to watch the match, and that distraction led to Legend taking control. While this wasn't a horrible match, you could see some ring rust on both the Bellas. And I agree. Both the Bellas haven't been in the ring for I don't know how many years. Plus, there's a lot of ring rust on Brie Bella. I guarantee it. And Nikki, I mean, she's probably gotten a little bit better because she stepped in the ring with Becky Lynch. She stepped in the ring with, but she was also rusty when she first came back. So both Bellas were rusted as fuck. But also, I would like to mention, a couple of weeks ago, maybe even last week, remember how Bleacher Report said that it was Brie who got pulled? No, I rewatched the clip back. It was fucking Nikki who got pulled, guys. So Nia Jax pulled Nikki into, I think, Charlotte Flair giving a big boot to her. But anyway, regardless, while this wasn't a horror match, you could see some ring runs on the Bellas. Unfortunately, it ended in DQ to no contest. But I'm going to be to the fact of DQ because of what happened. Well, it ended up in DQ when Charlotte Flair attacked Jax. So the women's tag team champions retained their titles because of disqualification. After attempting to use her title belt as a weapon, the champions ended up taking both teams out, which means this will certainly end up being a triple threat match. Bout. So whatever. Also, in a crazy ass match that we're going to see next week, Aldis is going to book Kit Wilson versus Jelly Roll for next week. That is fucking insane. Oh God. Okay. Whatever. I guess. C-. Now we get on to, of course, the Viper Speaks, part 2. There's no photo for it, but Orton was shown talking to someone on the phone before the final break. He said he was going to head to the ring to fix it. When he got to the ring, he asked Cardona to join him. He apologized for how he treated him early in the show. Cardona appeared to forgive him, but then Orton kicked him below the belt and hit an RKO. He stomped on Cardona's arm while it was wrapped in a steel chair, despite several officials talking him down. The show also ended with this, let's just say. The show ended with Fatu and McIntyre fighting outside the arena. They ended up falling off of an elevated platform out of view as the show went off the air. And Nick Aldis was calling for medical. I'm going to give the grading for this final little thing right here, okay? This whole little thing, as much as it's appreciated to see that we had a pretty, good show or whatnot, this whole last segment right here, C+. I think it's a good C+ for this segment right here. It feels right to give it a C+, especially when we followed up through McIntyre-Fatu from the start, and we finished it off with them. And then we had Orton's, stupid-ass explanation. It didn't feel new, it didn't feel improved, didn't feel anything. It was just kind of filler, if anything. This week's SmackDown had some highs and had some lows. So it ended up evening out a pretty average episode. The two biggest highlights, if not anything, this week is Fraxium and the Motor City Machine Guns, and the U.S. title bout between Hayes and Dragunov. Not only that, but let's also add on top of the opening segment of the show. Orton's story throughout the episode was an interesting path to follow, especially with the mystery of who he was on the phone, talking on the phone in the background. WWE still has a lot of work to do when it comes to making WrestleMania must-see, so the next few weeks are going to be very interesting as we get closer to the PLE. Now, I don't know who Randy would be talking to, simply because Randy Orton could go back to having a whole new, people, two people, actually. Remember, Randy Orton had a fraction back in 2009, as you know, Legacy, which actually had Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr., who had just pleaded not guilty to 13 counts of insurance fraud. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about who the fuck is on the phone with him. Now, I don't know who had Orton been on the phone with, but it must have been something. Oh, shit. It must have been something. It must have been someone important. Now, maybe it was Triple H, old legacy members. I'm trying to think of everybody he's been in the ring with. But also, it has to be related to Cody too, you know, because it would be a big surprise. Now, I don't know who Orton was on the phone with, but it makes for an interesting way. Like they said, it made for an interesting path to follow. WWE still has a lot of work to do when it comes to making WrestleMania must see. So they have a few weeks to hype up everything, make it very interesting so we can get closer to it. And I believe we are 4 weeks. Might have to check back at that 4 weeks. But what was the final grade? Well, like I said, a C+ will be for the, you know, final segment and for the everything here. But as a grade overall, I believe that this overall grade had its highs, had its lows, and it averaged out. So to me, I still think it should be a C+ too. So the whole roundabout show gets a C+, with everything being, you know, and it lowered a bit too because of the whole fucking, you know, alliance shit. And I don't know what they're going to call them, but this alliance is bullshit, and it's fucking Rhea Ripley wins the fucking belt. But that was SmackDown. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a stream. I will be back next week to talk about Monday Night Raw as we lead into WrestleMania continuously. You also see that I got the WrestleMania live streams up. Night 1, Night 2, the review. And don't forget the predictions right before, of course, we get to WrestleMania. And, of course, the SmackDown stream will be there, too. Alright? And I will be here next week to give you what went down on Friday Night SmackDown next week. So, we are building up to WrestleMania, and so far, I can tell you right now, if you guys can see on your screen, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Stephanie McIntyre, Liv Morgan, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley, Brock Lesnar, and Oba Femi. That is going to be a great thing to predict. I mean, especially if Rollins gets involved. Bro, that's going to be insane. All of this is insane. I have to add another fucking... That's insane. Like, we have so much to go, and these are... I spelled possible. How the fuck? Bold that. And then, it's sort of possible. No, I think it's definitely happening. Honestly, too, let's even make it even better. Because I know that these guys are going to fucking make sure to do it. I'll even add this. Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre will compete in a last man standing. I guarantee that's what they do because, like, think about this. They've been brawling all throughout this show. This SmackDown made it very clear, like, these guys want to brawl outside the parking lot. Maybe a street fight even. But it's going to be a last man standing match because Jacob Fatu, like, everybody saw Drew McIntyre had his hands wrapped up, right? This is a fight. Like, this is a 100% fight. I hope they start building up everything that they can because we need more matches. And we know that this one is most likely to happen. This one is most likely to happen. This matchup is more likely to happen. I kind of want to get rid of this one, but I'm going to keep it until we get closer. This ladder match that I came up with, I thought this idea is pretty cool. You got some contenders in there. Carmelo Hayes versus former opponents. Cardona, Dragunov, Tricky, Aleister Black, Sami Zayn. Chris Jericho and Gunther. Where's Gunther been? I don't know where Gunther's been, guys. He killed Dragon Lee and that was it. Dragon Lee then gets a title match and Gunther's nowhere to be fucking seen. This is insane. But we are building up to WrestleMania 42. So, I cannot wait for WrestleMania 42. I cannot wait to be streaming it with you guys. Can't wait for all of that. But waiting is what we're going to have to do. So until then, I will see you guys on Tuesday. Peace.